The Battle of Verona was fought on 18 October 1805 between the French army of Italy under the command of André Massena and an Austrian army led by Archduke Charles, Duke of Teschen. By the end of the day, Massena seized a bridgehead on the east bank of the Adige River, driving back the defending troops under Joseph Philip Vukasovic. The action took place near the city of Verona in northern Italy during the War of the Third Coalition, part of the Napoleonic Wars. In the fall of 1805, Emperor Napoleon I of France planned for his powerful Grande Armée to fall upon and crush the Austrian Empire army in southern Germany. The French emperor hoped to win the war in the Danube Valley. To help accomplish this purpose, Napoleon wanted Massena to hold Archduke Charles's large army in Italy for as long as possible. In order for Massena to grapple with his enemies, it was necessary to establish a bridgehead on the east bank of the Adige. During the battle, the French attacked across the river, cleared 2 suburbs, and seized some high ground on the opposite bank. The Austrians suffered considerably more casualties than the French in the encounter. This clash set the stage for the subsequent Battle of Scaligero on 29 to 31 October. Background: Austrian plans. On 5 September 1805, Feldmarschall Archduke Charles, Feldmarschall Lieutenant Karl Friedrich von Lindenau, and General Major Anton Mayer von Heldensfeld drew up the final Austrian strategic plan. This strategy largely conformed to an earlier plan worked out by Charles Feldmarschall Lieutenant Karl Mack von Leibusch, and Feldmarschall Lieutenant Karl Philipp, Prince of Schwarzenberg. However, Mayer convinced Charles and Lindenau to transfer troops from Italy to Germany, where Mack was pressing for an invasion of the Electorate of Bavaria. The original plan put 120,000 troops in Italy, 70,000 in Germany, 25,000 in the Tyrol, and 20,000 for internal security. Mayer's revision reduced the force in Italy to 90,000, with 30,000 on the march for Germany. Archduke Charles disagreed with Mack's aggressive strategy. When Emperor Francis I asked his opinion, Charles wrote him that Mack was making a serious blunder by invading Bavaria. Nevertheless, the emperor allowed Mack to pursue his course of action. Fearing the worst in Bavaria, Charles took up a defensive posture, even though he knew he outnumbered Massena. The Archduke posted Feldmarschall Lieutenant Johann von Hiller's 22,000 troops in the Italian Tyrol, north of Rivoli Veronese. The Archduke lined the east bank of the Adige from Verona to Legnago with 40,000 soldiers, and he held a 30,000-man central reserve at Caldero. Of these troops, Feldmarschall Lieutenant Count Heinrich von Bellegarde watched Verona, with the division of Vukasovic northeast of the city and the divisions of Feldmarschall Lieutenants Joseph Simpson and Andreas O'Reilly von Ballenlock to the east. Feldmarschall Lieutenant Eugene Guillaume Argenteau's 6 divisions manned the line at Caldero. Feldmarschall Lieutenant Paul Davidovich with 2 divisions defended the Adige near Legnago. French plans. At the beginning of August 1805, Napoleon gave up his plan for invading Great Britain across the English Channel. Instead, he decided to move his army from the Channel coast to South Germany to smash the Austrian army. He hoped to be at the Austrian capital of Vienna in November, before the Russian army appeared on the scene. With corps numbering I through 7, a cavalry corps, the Imperial Guard, and Bavarian allies, Napoleon committed 194,000 troops to the campaign in Germany. In training, personnel, morale, and organization, the Grande Armée was the finest body of troops that Napoleon would ever command. On the 26th of August, he gave the order to march, and a month later his troops were crossing the Rhine. Thanks to an elaborate spy network, Napoleon was aware that the Austrians deployed their largest army in Italy. The emperor desired that Archduke Charles's army not be allowed to influence events in southern Germany. Massena, whose army only counted 48,000 troops, first looked to his defenses. In 1805 the Adige was the boundary between French Lombardy and Austrian Venetia. On the west side of the Adige, Massena placed 5,000 garrison troops in the fortresses of the Quadrilateral, that is, Verona, Legnago, Peschiera del Garda, and Mantua. Initially, Massena held the line of the Adige with 3 infantry divisions. General of Division Jean-Mathieu Seyss observed Hiller from a strong position at Rivoli in the north. General of Division Gaspard Écute Gardin held Verona, and General of Division Jean-Antoine Verdier defended the Adige near Legnago in the south. Following Napoleon's instructions, Massena began concentrating his army. He intended to mass his striking force of 5 infantry and 2 cavalry divisions near Verona. He planned to have Verdier's division, supported by General of Division Charles Randin de Pully's cavalry division, divert the Austrians' attention by making a probe farther south. To play for time, Napoleon authorized Massena to propose a truce. He did so, and Archduke Charles accepted. On the 29th of September, a convention was drawn up whereby the armies would not begin fighting until 6 days after one side notified the other. A week later, Massena sent word to Charles that hostilities would begin on the 14th of October. On the 17th of October, Charles received word that Napoleon was in Munich. Foreseeing the disastrous outcome of the Ulm campaign, the Archduke made plans to withdraw from Italy. But first he would defend himself against a French attack. Battle. French Army. Massena's order of battle on the 18th of October is as follows. Army of Italy. André Massena, 1st Division. General of Division Gaspard Écute Gardin, 1st Brigade. General of Brigade Louis Furzy Henry. Compare 22nd Light Infantry Regiment, 52nd Line Infantry Regiment, 2nd Brigade. General of Brigade Louis François Lanchatin. 29th Line Infantry Regiment, 101st Line Infantry Regiment attached. 23rd Chasseurs à Cheval Regiment, 15, 2nd Foot Artillery Company, 2nd Division. General of Division Jean-Antoine Verdier, 1st Brigade. General of Brigade Antoine Digonet. 23rd Light Infantry Regiment, 10th Line Infantry Regiment, 2nd Brigade. General of Brigade Jacques Brun, 3rd Brigade. Colonel François L'Écute Ormancy, 3rd Division. General of Division Gabriel Jean-Joseph Molitor, 1st Brigade. General of Brigade Jean-Marie Auguste Aulnay de Launay, 2nd Brigade. General of Brigade Jean-Baptiste Urban Dissot, 3rd Brigade. General of Brigade Guy Louis Henry de Valery, 4th Division. General of Division Guillaume Philibert du Hesme, 1st Brigade. General of Brigade François Goulas, 1st Line IR 102nd Line IR 2nd Brigade. General of Brigade Jean Le Camus, 14th Light IR 20th Line IR attached. 25th Chasseurs à Cheval Regiment, 19, 2nd Foot Artillery Company, 5th Division. General of Division Jean-Mathieu Seyss, 1st Brigade. General of Brigade Jacques-Laurent Gilly, 2nd Brigade. General of Brigade Pierre-Joseph Gillot, 3rd Brigade. General of Brigade Claude-François de Mallet, 4th Brigade. General of Brigade Jean-Jacques Schilt, Reserve Division. General of Division Louis Partouneau, 1st Brigade. General of Brigade Jean-Baptiste Solignac, 2nd Brigade. General of Brigade François Valentin, Reserve Cavalry Division. General of Division Julien Augustin Joseph Mermet, 1st Brigade. General of Brigade Nicolas Bernard Guillot de Lacour, 2nd Brigade. Colonel François Joseph Doffenstein, Light Cavalry Division. General of Division Jean-Louis Despain, 1st Brigade. General of Brigade Écute SA Alexandre de Belle, 2nd Brigade. Colonel Antoine Morin, Cavalry Division. General of Division Charles Randin de Pully, 1st Brigade. General of Brigade Maurice Frézy, 2nd Brigade. Colonel Davigny, Austrian Army. On the 18th of October, Archduke Charles's forces were organized as follows. Army von Italian. Feldmarschall Archduke Charles, Duke of Teschen, right wing. General of Cavalry Count Heinrich von Bellegarde Division. Feldmarschall Lieutenant Joseph Philip Vukasovich Brigade. General Major Hannibal Sommereveli Grens Infantry Regiment near 1 Otto Grens Infantry Regiment near 2 2nd Banat Grens Infantry Regiment near 11 Archduke Ferdinand Hussars near 3 Brigade. General Major Karl Hillinger Davidovich Infantry Regiment near 34 Offenburg Infantry Regiment near 37 Division. Feldmarschall Lieutenant Joseph Simpson Brigade. General Major Johann Maria Philipp Fremont Brigade. General Major Stefan Milaevich Brigade. General Major Friedrich Hotolinski Brigade. General Major Karl Saudane von Niederworth Division. Feldmarschall Lieutenant Andreas O'Reilly von Ballenlock. Center. Feldmarschall Lieutenant Eugene Guillaume Argento Division. General Major Armand von Nordmann Brigade. General Major Franz Antony von Siegenfeld Brigade. General Major Nordmann Division. Feldmarschall Lieutenant Karl Friedrich von Lindenau Brigade. General Major Guido Lippe von Duber Brigade. General Major Prince Ludwig of Hohenlohe-Bartenstein Division. Feldmarschall Lieutenant Ludwig von Vogelsang Brigade. General Major Hieronymus Karl Graf von Collorder-Mansfeld Brigade. General Major Georg Kroll von Herzberg Division. Feldmarschall Lieutenant Prince Heinrich XV of Roosplaaren Brigade. General Major Joseph Wetzel Division. Feldmarschall Lieutenant Argento Brigade. General Major Johann Kalnassi Brigade. General Major Joseph Walther von Waldenau Division. Feldmarschall Lieutenant Prince Joseph of Lorraine-Vaudemont, left wing. Feldmarschall Lieutenant Paul Davidovich Division. Feldmarschall Lieutenant Prince Franz Serif of Rosenberg-Orsini Brigade. General Major Joseph Radetzky von Radetz-Shaluina Grenz Infantry Regiment near 4 Hussar Regiment near 5 Brigade. General Major Alois von Kvasiny Brigade. General Major Peter Nesevich Division. General Major Wannibald Lowenberg Brigade. General Major Lowenberg. Tyrol Column. Feldmarschall Lieutenant Johann von Hiller Division. Feldmarschall Lieutenant Franz Joseph Marquis de Lusignan Brigade. General Major Karl Schauroff Brigade. General Major Peter Lutz Division. General Major Joseph Dedovich Brigade. General Major Dedovich Brigade. General Major Otto Gottlieb Edler von Zedschock Brigade. General Major Christoph Johnson. Action directly east of Verona was the suburb of Veronetta, which the Austrians had heavily fortified. In addition, the bridges between Verona and Veronetta were well covered by Austrian artillery. Therefore, Massena turned his eyes to the west side of Verona, to the suburb of San Giorgio, which was accessible by a stone bridge known as the Castel Vecchio Bridge. Vukasovich was responsible for defending the area. The Austrian division commander had a wall built across the center of the bridge and fortified San Giorgio. However, Vukasovich only allocated 2 battalions to its defense. He deployed 6 battalions in the hills northeast of Verona, while the remainder of his division lay farther north. Maintaining contact with Hiller's corps, Massena decided to personally command the bridge assault, stripping the 24 Voltiga companies from the battalions in Gardanne and General of Division Guillaume Philibert Duhesme's divisions. The French army commander formed them into a storming column. The Voltigas were supported by a sapper battalion and a light artillery company, and backed by Gardanne's division. In the early hours of the 18th of October, Massena led his storming column silently onto the Castel Vecchio bridge. The sappers set charges which destroyed the wall, and the French column surged forward. After quickly overrunning the Austrian outposts, the Voltigas attacked San Giorgio. General of Brigade Louis Furzy Henry Compere advanced to support the attack, while Vukasovich reinforced the defenders with 2 battalions. Sometime after 10 a.m. San Giorgio fell to the French. Soon afterward, Vukasovic had the Archduke Ferdinand Hussar Regiment No. 3 and General Major Hannibal Samaryvas-Gren's infantry on hand. The Austrian division commander hurled his hussars at Quimper's brigade. The French formed square, and with the help of artillery firing across the river, drove off the Austrian cavalry. Around noon, Verdier mounted a diversionary attack, easily penetrating General Major Joseph Radetzky von Raditz's screen. He crossed the Adige at Albaredo de Diger with 2 battalions of the 23rd Light Infantry Regiment. Believing that the action at Verona was the diversion and the crossing at Albaredo was the real attack, Archduke Charles marched against Verdier with 3 columns. By the time he arrived at Albaredo, the 23rd Light had withdrawn safely to the French side of the Adige. Massena also ordered Serres to mount a diversion in the north, leaving part of his division at Rivoli. Serres demonstrated in front of Pescantina, 11 kilometers west of Verona. This action froze half of Vukasovic's division, which remained watching Serres and never got into action. In the afternoon, some of Duhesme's troops and the 23rd Chasseurs à Cheval were in action on the French side. By 5 p.m., San Leonardo fell to the French after severe fighting, allowing Massena's troops to occupy the heights and press to the east. At this time, Bellegarde appeared with Feldmarschall Lieutenants Andreas O'Reilly and Joseph Simpson's divisions at the hamlet of San Felice in the Val Pantena, northeast of Verona. Bellegarde pushed back the French a short distance until darkness and fatigue ended the fighting. Results: One historian puts French losses at 77 dead and 246 wounded, a total of 323, while stating Austrians' casualties as 1152, including 246 killed and 906 wounded. A second authority writes that the French counted 150 killed and 300 wounded, while Austrian losses numbered 1,622 killed, wounded, and captured, and 4 cannons. Massena failed to capture Veronetta, but he carved out a bridgehead on the heights northeast of Verona. Angry that Vukasovic failed to stop Massena's attack, Archduke Charles dismissed him and replaced him with Feldmarschall Lieutenant Prince Franz Serif of Rosenberg-Orsini. The Archduke believed that Vukasovic could have repulsed the first French assault if he had defended the bridge with more troops. Even so, Charles had sufficient troops to attack the French bridgehead. Instead, he contented himself with holding Veronetta, placing General Major Johann Maria Philipp Fremont's brigade in the suburb of San Michele, east of Veronetta, and ordering Rosenberg to hold the Val Pantena. The Austrian commander withdrew the rest of Bellegarde's right wing into the Caldero lines. Massena reinforced his bridgehead with all of Gardan and Duhesme's divisions. Both Charles and Massena later explained away their subsequent inaction by claiming that they were awaiting events in Germany. The next action was the Battle of Caldero from 29 to the 31st of October.